Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Cinnamon Stitches. I am your yarn host Jennifer. And I was filming another video, so I gotta move stuff around a little bit. There we go. Alright. Trying to get a bunch of things done today is just not happening. Today we're reviewing these little kits called the Woobles. And I know that there are a lot of opinions on the Woobles. And mine is just one of them. So if you want to make your own opinion on the Woobles, I recommend watching several different people gather an opinion from that, and we'll go from there. I have not watched another review video of Woobles because I really want this opinion to be my own. I know that my dear friend Kayla over at Llama Mama Kayla likes tees. She likes them a lot. And I also had another podcaster reach out to me and say they're not just an Amigurumi kit, they are a class. They are a beginner teaching class teaching you how to crochet. Okay? I mean, I could see the value in that. I'm going to try to be as open-minded as I can with these Wooble kits. I was gifted one that's a Frankenstein, and that is super, super cute. And I was really, really excited about it because I won't pay retail for these. I absolutely will not pay retail for these. And I have not paid. I have 3 kits here that I paid for. I didn't pay retail for a single one of them because I find their retail price absolutely ridiculous. Now, I first saw these at Christmas time in Walmart. And let's just do a quick Woobles kits. We'll do a quick Google and see how much the kits are retailing from on the internet. So, now Woobles has other things. Woobles has yarn. This is $12.99 a ball for this yarn. And it's only 164 yards. I have no opinions on the yarn because I have never worked with it. I purchased some on clearance at Joann's, which is where I bought all of these. Okay? And I thought about going back today and getting the avocado kit, but I think I'm going to refrain. Alright, so the kits on Woobles.com look like they're $30. They have some of the name brand ones, like the licensed characters, like the Hello Kitty one, is $40. They have a Minecraft kit that's $170. They all, even if I'm seeing some of them pop up on Amazon, it says $29.96. The Christmas ones are clearanced out on some websites for $20.99. I think I paid under $20 for each one of these 3 kits because I'm not absolutely not paying $40 for a kit. These were all retail, I think $29.99 and $39.99. And I don't remember which ones were those prices, but I got them for 50 and 60% off because I have a real hard time with the $40 price tag. You can get little kits like this at your local yarn shops for $15, $20. And I think that's where I really have a problem with this, okay? Now we're going to open it up. I'm going to show you everything that's in one of these kits. The lowest price I'm seeing are the Christmas clearance ones, but they're all averaging about $30 for the kits on Amazon. And they come in a wide variety of characters, a wide variety of animals, and fun, cute little stuff. Now what's in here is everything you need to make the creature that's on the front of the bag, which also is kind of cool because all the little things that I use to make my bird, for example. This is a free tutorial here on my channel. This is my bird. You can also make it into a chicken. It's all part of the tutorial here. I also have this bird, which is also a tutorial here on the channel for free. The Woobles are not much more complicated than this for the most part. A lot of their designs, and I've done extensive research. I went to their website, I went on Google, I've searched on Amazon, I've looked at, they all start off with a very basic, simple shape for the most part. This one is a little bit less of a circle. He's not much less of a circle, but he's less of a circle. Let's see. The pineapple says for beginners, right here. And it says learn to crochet kit. This one also says for beginners, all materials are included, as does this one. These two are, I'm told, from BTS, which is a Korean K-pop band, which I have never watched. And the measurements for the koala on the back is 6.25 inches wide by 3.75 inches high. The horse head, that's just a horse head, is 4 inches wide by 3.5 inches high. And the little pina, the pineapple, is 3 inches wide by 6.25 inches tall. And I think we're going to work with the koala. The koala, I have no doubt, had a $40 price tag on it because it's the BTS thing. Just because this is made with licensed characters. The pineapple was probably $29.99 retail. I'm sorry I'm yawning. I have been recording videos all day. It's been a really long day. I'm exhausted. And if you're following along, I'm also not feeling great. So, I think we're going to open the koala. We're going to look inside. I don't think I'm going to make him today. Because I don't see a way I could make him on camera without showing you guys the pattern. And that's part of the gimmick of this, is that you learn how to make this with the kit. So we're going to go ahead and open it. I actually feel really sad opening this because I don't know. I don't think I'm ever going to buy more of these just because of the price tag, unless I find them at a really good clearance. They had an avocado kit at my local Joann's clearance down for $8 right now because Joann's has got 5 days left in my local store. All right, so there's some cute little stuff in there. There is this little tiny bit of white for his ears. Okay, and looks like a shoestring. There is even less of the purple for his nose. Okay, just a little drawstring, if you will. There is, oh, the crochet hook is cute. The crochet hook is cute. It's a cute crochet hook. Alright, it says Koya on one side, BT21, and the other side says Woobles. The crochet hook is cute. Alright, I'm going to give you guys... Hang on, my daughter's texting me. She made it to her location. This looks like a very basic boy hook, and I have a bunch of hooks that are just like this, and I started crocheting with boy hooks. This looks just like... It looks like the boy hooks you buy from Walmart. I have a bunch of pink ones. It's very, very similar. And it's adorable with the cute little koalas. Of course the dogs are gonna bark because, I mean, it comes with the blue. And it starts off the centerpiece for you so that you don't actually have to learn to do the magic ring. And it's got stitch markers in there so that it's already started for you. And that's one of the things they say, is that we have a pre-started piece in there for you. So this is pre-started. Now, I know the basics of crochet. I know how to make a magic circle. I know how to crochet in the round. I know how to make amigurumi. This is meant for someone who doesn't know any of that. But can I tell you, being a YouTuber, there's a million videos on here that shows you how to make that. And in a wide variety. That's how I learned how to crochet. I learned how to crochet when I was a little girl to start off with. My mom taught me the basics. I never made anything under her tutelage because she was not a real good teacher. She was very impatient and she ripped out my work constantly because I would miss a stitch or I would screw it up. What are you doing? She was very She was not a good teacher, I'm gonna say that. I learned everything I know from Lilo N Stitches for the most part. Be patient. It's okay to make mistakes. I am a firm believer in that. And I think that's part of the reason. I'm sorry for the dogs. It's part of the reason I have a hard time with the idea that it has a step-by-step video in it. Yes, it does. You can go watch the video. How to Wooble wee woobly bits. And I appreciate that they're starting it for you for newbies. And I have not watched the tutorial. Maybe the tutorial's fantastic. It shows you how to learn stitch recognition, which is one of the key factors of learning to crochet. You have to learn what your stitches look like so you can crochet into those stitches. Okay? I suggest practicing in like washcloth form to start off with. And of course, there's this little teeny tiny little fluff so that you can stuff your amigurumi. And it says, it's what's inside that counts. So does that mean that this is a really high-end fluff? Because it is in fact a good feeling fluff. And I want to say that because some polyfill, like generic brands, feel real rough and gross, like fiberglass. Like it's gross. And this one's actually smooth feeling. It's smooth feeling. It doesn't feel yucky and gross. And it's squishy. And I don't know if I'm ever going to fit it back in this little container. But, I mean, we're going to try. So, it says there's supposed to be a yarn needle in here. Well, it's got to be in here. So it says that the kit includes the yarn, step-by-step video, pre-started piece, 4mm crochet hook, online instructions, stuffing, and I'm guessing the yarn needle is in here. The little sticker is stinking cute. I like the extra details that they put into the Woobles, I will say that. And for a gift for we found a little bit of black in the envelope. There's a little bit of black for his eyes and his mouth. And there is in fact, sensory. I have sensory issues. This rubbed against the cardboard of this and it made my skin crawl. Okay, so I do like the little details and the touches and the cute bits that they put in here. This little card has a QR code on the back that gives you the step-by-step guide, so you can scan the QR code, or you can go to the woobles.com start and put in this password that is on here that I'm not going to give you guys, and you can keep this pattern forever and use it forever. You can. That was a point that Kayla made from Llama Mama Kayla, so I'm trying to... People have reached out to me and said, why are you being so hard? Like, I really like the Woobles. And if you like the Woobles and you want to pay $40 for the kit, more power to you. I'm happy that you are enjoying that. I struggle really hard because I know that this hook is valued at about $1.99. And even if you add in that it's got cute little koala bears on it, it is really adorable. And it's branded, okay? The value of the hook itself, even with the cute koalas on there, I wouldn't pay over $10 for something like this. I really would not. These are like 50 cents because you buy them in packs. These might even be a quarter depending on where you get them for the needle, okay? And if you take the fact that this is $12.99 and this is much less yarn than this whole ball, the value of this yarn is probably, I'm going to say, $5. Okay, if you're taking into consideration that's less than half the size of this ball, and this is $12.99, I'm going to give this a value of $5. So even if you take this as a $10 hook, we're still at $15.25. And fluff. You can stuff your amigurumi with anything. You could put leftover yarn scraps in there, and I have them all over my desk, so I could use that. Fluff is not real expensive. You can get fluff sometimes at the thrift store for a small, well, yeah, I have bought it at the thrift store for like $1. That doesn't count. At the craft stores for like a decent sized bag for a couple dollars. You can get a $5 pillow at Walmart, tear it apart, use the stuffing. There's cheaper ways to make amigurumi, and there are a million incredibly talented amigurumi artists who make tutorials for free on the internet. That's why I struggle with the price of this kit. Is it cool? Is this little koala the cutest little thing ever? Yes. Is it a cute little koala? Yes. Is it cool that they give you everything in here? Yeah. Is it $40 cool? No, it's not. To me. You might think it is, and that's okay if we have a difference in opinion. I would love to hear everyone discuss politely and with manners in the comments below. What are your takes on the Woobles kits? I did want to show you like everything that's in here. And now I'm believing that the one that's in here, the little crochet hook, probably has this little horse head on it. And yeah, we're going to open it up and see because I want to know. And also, going back to Llama Mama Kayla, she opened up, she got the Barbie and Ken kit. And her crochet hook has Barbie on it, which is the coolest thing ever because I love Barbie. Oh, this one seems more stuffed. There's more stuff in here. There's, oh yeah, this is a cute hook. So apparently the little horse head is riding a skateboard. And yeah, the hooks are adorable. I know nothing of BTS, I'm gonna be real honest. I bought the kit because it was clearanced out. But once again, we have a different color, and this one's actually smaller than that other ball. And all these other little pieces. And the stuffing and all the cute little stuff. I'm gonna be real honest, if there's a Frankenstein hook in here, I'm probably gonna lose my mind because I love Frankenstein and this kit was gifted to me. Well, I gotta see. Now I'm curious. I gotta open them all. I gotta open them all. I probably should have put... These are hard to rip. So I can't imagine if you have like hand issues. Because I'm struggling. And I do have hand issues, but like I'm struggling. Oh my god. The crochet hook is so cute. It says need a hand. Okay, alright. This is really cute. He's okay. Alright. So the Frankenstein once again has all the yarn, the stuffing, and the cutest crochet. Okay, the crochet hook is what's gonna get me. It's gonna be what gets me. I had no idea they were special hooks in here. I just thought, I'm gonna be real honest with you, I thought it was just a basic metal stick hook in here. The hooks are real cute. And it's not $40 cute. But again, I didn't buy this one. But this one's real cute. And this is Steve the Frankenstein. Not the Minecraft guy. The Steve the Frankenstein. Alright, we got one more to open because I need to see the pineapple crochet hook. Do I have a slight obsession with collecting crochet hooks? Absolutely. I do. I also, I'm going to tell you on a secret, I also collect amigurumi kits and never use them. Because a lot of times I buy the kits from like Ollie's for like $5 or $10. And that's another reason why I have a hard time with this, because it's one pattern. And I have, in one of my bins up high, I have a Mr. Rogers Neighborhood kit that has the booklet and the yarn. And it has the yarn for one of the characters, which was Mr. Rogers. But it has the booklet to make like 10 or 11 characters. I have a Mickey Mouse kit, same thing. I have a Winnie the Pooh kit, same thing. It gives you the yarn for one of the characters, but it gives you a booklet of 10 characters from that genre. and this has 1. And I, for those kits, have not paid more than $10 for those kits. So that's another thing. And granted, those don't come with a really cute... Oh, see, this is just a basic crochet hook. The basic crochet hook. For the pineapple. The pineapple doesn't have a cute one. All the rest of them did, but the pineapple does not. It's kind of bad. That would have been a really cute little crochet hook with a pineapple. Did they have a basic crochet hook in those other kits? Yeah, they did. They did. A crappy one at that. But is the crochet hook worth the extra price? I guess that's really up to the person. Like if you really, really love BTS and you really want this, the crochet hooks, real talk, are reselling for much more money online than the entire kit. The Barbie one that Kayla has, oh, I hate the way this paper feels. I actually looked it up because I was going to offer to pay her for the Barbie hook. Because I love Barbie and it's a cute Barbie hook. It just says Barbie on it. And I looked it up and people are paying $70 for the Barbie themed. And I backed off so quick. I'm like, yeah, we're not going to even talk to Kayla about that because I'm not paying $70 for a crochet hook. I don't care how cute it is. I still think I would only pay $10 for these crochet hooks. And that's kind of pushing it. But the crochet, the themed crochet hooks are really, really cute. Those make it a little more valuable to me, but now for the yarn, because I kind of wanted to review the yarn. And I bought some, again, on clearance at Joann's because $12.99 price tag, it offends me a little bit. I can get a big giant ball of Bernat blanket yarn for $11.99 pretty much everywhere. And it's 220 yards, but it makes a much bigger project. This is 164 yards for $13. And I have a problem with that. But I want to crochet this up. This yarn looks really familiar to me. There is a yarn, and I don't know if I have it anymore, that I had from Lion Brand some years ago that was very similar to this. It was very, very, I want to say it was Lazy Days or something along those lines. Now this yarn, me typically, when I make amigurumi, I like fuzzy yarn, I like blanket style yarn, chenille style yarn. I like to make the fat, chunkier amigurumis. Some people prefer just a basic acrylic for their amigurumis, and that's cool too, because I have made a couple of things with just a basic. This is a bulky weight acrylic yarn with, I don't know what you call these. It's not quite tweed, it's way over the top for tweed, but this is called the flowers yarn. So this is just a basic acrylic yarn, but it's got that extra little flair to it. This is not acrylic or polyester like the chenille style yarn. This is actually cotton and nylon, and it says machine washable and dryable. All of the Woobles I think are made in China, if that matters to you, because the yarn for sure says made in China. And I'm guessing, yeah, made in China, designed in the USA. Choking hazard, small parts, not for children under 3 years old. For ages 12 and up. So if you're a grandma or a mom and your kid has taken an interest in amigurumi, you could buy them one of these kits, or you could buy them some fat chunky yarn and a big hook and put them onto a video on the internet for free. Just saying. Alright, now I'm going to go with, this suggests a 5.5 millimeter, or no, 5.5 knitting needles, 5 millimeter crochet hook, but all of these kits have 4 millimeter crochet hooks. So we're going to use a 4 millimeter crochet hook, and we're just going to use my dots hook. And I you know what? No, we're not. We're going to use the BTS hook. We're not going to use the kit just yet. I'm not going to judge the teaching or the tutorial on the internet because I'm sure it's fine. And I'm not going to judge that because I don't feel that that's necessary. I think there are a lot of people online who could teach you how to do these very basic things as well. And that's part of where my opinion comes from. And you could think I'm full of baloney, and that is okay. So we're going to go down to the table and we're going to make a very simple, basic amigurumi shape. Alright, we're going to use our Woobles Koya hook. I think that's how you pronounce it. All amigurumi, well, most amigurumi, traditional amigurumi, not like the kawaii, cute little flat animals, are made with a circle. And I've showed how to make a circle on this channel 100 times, how to make a ball, and a lot of these patterns from the Woobles, the very beginner ones, they're all ball shaped. So you have the koala, he's more oval shaped. Frankenstein is definitely circular shaped. The pineapple is circular shaped. And the horse is either ovular. He's definitely ovular up here. I don't know if the bottom is circular or not because it kind of could start off that way. And we're just going to show some basic amigurumi techniques that you need to know to make any of these amigurumi. It's very simple. So I like to start with a magic circle, and it looks like those kits started with a magic circle, okay? A magic circle is just a fancy slip stitch, okay? And the way I make a slip stitch is I make it look like an awareness ribbon, you know, like the cancer awareness or the AIDS awareness, you know, the ones that they pin on their lapel. So you take your yarn, you hold it here, you put the short tail on the back, and see there's an X here, you pinch it. You go in from top to bottom and you pull up a loop. Now if you want to make a slip stitch, you just pull that tail, you got a slip stitch. Bingo bango. Okay? If you want to make a magic loop, you do exactly the same thing. You put the short tail on the bottom and you pinch the X. You go in and you pull up a loop. The difference between this and a slip stitch is a chain 1. That's the difference. This is still a big old slip stitch. And you want to crochet over the short tail and the circle. Okay? And all amigurumi, if they are made with single crochet, generally start with a 6 single crochet. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This yarn is snagging on this crochet hook. Then you grab that little tail and you just pull it tight, and there you have made a magic circle. And this is what's in those kits. They put a few stitch markers in there. When I make amigurumi, I don't like to keep count. Some people have to keep count, and that's where the stitch markers come in. You put a stitch marker here on your very first stitch of the row, and it helps you to keep track, okay? But what I do is I know that first row, because we started with 6, that first row, and I like to crochet over this at least for a couple stitches. This first row has 2 single crochets in every stitch, okay? This is how you make a circle. And I know that 2 times 12, or 2 times 6 is 12. So I just count 1, 2, crocheting over the top of that, 3, 4, and because there's 2 stitches in each one, we're just going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way up to 12, right? And I already lost track. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And guess what? We're back at the beginning of the row, and that's our first stitch right there. And also, I'm noticing that that's coming apart, so I'm going to pull my tail again. Pull it real tight. So you want to keep that tight. If you want to keep this locked in, because this is kind of a slick yarn, just weave it in a couple of times. Or keep crocheting over the top of it, because that feels like that's going to slip back loose again. Now, for the next row, and it's like this for every single, when you're making a circle, your first row is going to be 6 single crochet, okay? The next row, row 2, is going to be 12 single crochet, or 2 single crochets in each stitch. Row 3, if you are making a ball or a circle, and you can do this for any animal on the planet. You can just make a circle and decorate it so that it looks like an animal, okay? Row 3 is going to have 18 single crochet, okay? Or it's going to have an increase, which is 2 single crochet, okay? And then 1 double, or not double crochet, 1 single crochet for the whole row. So you go 2 single crochets in the same stitch, and then a single crochet, and then 2, and then 1, till you reach the beginning. You should have 18 stitches. I don't count, because even if you're off by 1 or 2 stitches, it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. For row 4, as long as you're still making that ball bigger, you should add 6 stitches, because there's 6 increases, because we started with 6. So for row 4, where's 18 plus 6? 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 24 single crochet, right? Or you will have your increase, and then a single crochet, and a single crochet, and then an increase. So every row, as long as you want your circle to be bigger, you will increase how many single crochets are in between your how many single crochets are in between your increases. And you can do this for infinity. You just, every row, so row 5 will have an increase, and 1, 2, 3 single crochets. Row 6, you will have 4 single crochets. Row 7, you'll have 5, and on and on and on. Now, when you want to stop making the circle bigger, because you feel like that's a good size, you just, whatever your last row was, if your last row had 82 stitches, the next row will have 82 stitches, and 82 stitches, and 82 stitches, and it will bring it upward. Like, it will stop going outward this way. It will start to round up this way. That's the basics of all amigurumi. It's the basics of all amigurumi. And for me personally, I don't really count. I just keep track of what row I'm on, and I know that this row, because the last row was 2 in every one, I have 2, and then 1, and then 2, and then 1. And I really am snagging real hard with this hook and this yarn. So I'm going to switch hooks. Let's see, where's my 4mm that I just had? That's 6. I'm going to switch hooks and see if the dots hook, because the dots hook is shaped a little bit differently. I mean, just minorly shaped differently. There's not as deep of a throat. And honestly, the dots hook looks smaller. That's weird. So the head is shaped differently. See, this head's a little bit bigger. This is more tapered, more tapered here. So this might actually help me get in the stitches a little better. Oh my god, yes. They should really design the hook to match their yarn. And I say this a lot in a lot of videos. Have a variety of types of hooks in your arsenal, because not all hooks and yarn are compatible, and I don't like the Woobles hook with the Woobles yarn, which is kind of strange. this more tapered head and the less of a deep throat that's right here actually is not pulling as much. This yarn really soft. Well, was it soft? No. This yarn really reminds me of a yarn from Lion Brand, and I can't think of what it is. I have some, I think. I got it at Christmas tree shops for $1 a ball at one point. Now, let's say you don't put a stitch marker in here, okay? And you're like, oh God, where's the beginning or the end of my row? I'm going to show you a trick for that. You see how this kind of looks like a snail? And this is the first row. And then there's this weird little thing right here. That's the first stitch of the second row, which means the next row is going to be up slightly from that. So this row 1, okay, row 2 is here, and because this is the first stitch of the previous row, you're going to go diagonal this way. This is the first stitch of the third row, and then the fourth row. Some patterns will have you join, like you'll slip stitch to join for each row. I would rather work in the spiral because then you don't get like an obvious line of demarcation, like, oh, this is where the row goes, and it keeps on, and you'll see like a funkiness. Here, you'll only get that funkiness in the first stitch, and just follow up this way, and that's the beginning of your rows until you get done. My phone is very popular today. All right, now let's say that this is as wide as you want it to be. We're making a micro mini amigurumi. And you don't want it to get any fatter, any wider. You just start crocheting in around. Just crocheting around. In a circle. Just don't add any, just single crocheting around. And it will start to curl up on you. But keep in mind, this is the inside, so you're going to eventually have to flip it. Okay? This is how to make all amigurumi. You can start with this. And this also could be a foot. You can make 2 of these and make a foot for like 2 little feet. You could also do this and just make arms. This could be an ear. So I say, if you learn how to do this basic, work it in the round, you can make almost any amigurumi in the world. Start with beginner ones. Start with the ones that look like little circles. There's amigurumi patterns called no-sew patterns. Look those up. That's what I've been using. Either no-sew or low-sew. Because I don't like sewing on a bunch of pieces to my amigurumi. And I do have amigurumi tutorials here on the channel. I showed you the 2 birds. I also have a snake. My snake is real easy to make. You pretty much start like this. This will be his nose. And then to make his face wider, you just put increases on this side and this side directly across from each other. And the amigurumi will grow out just on the side, so he has cheeks. And the more you just crochet in the round and don't add any stitches, it will start to curl, and then you will have the beginning of a body shape. You could also make cute little bees. I have a tutorial for bees here on the channel. I'm not a big fan of amigurumi. Well, I never have been. Recently, that has changed a lot. I've been making all kinds of cute little stuff. I wish I had black of this. This would be super cute bee. Although, true bees are brown. I don't know if you know that. I've been corrected 100 times on the channel about it. And I do have some really close-up macro photographs of bees, so I can tell you with fact that bees are yellow and brown. Hornets, I believe, are yellow and black. So see, as you go around like this, it starts to form like the ball. And you can make any amigurumi with this basic shape. All you need to do is figure out how you're going to add the cute little extra things to it. You know, so for the koala, he looks like he's an oval, which just means you would do a few rows of maybe increases on the side. That's how I would do it. And then just continue in the round, in the round, in the round, in the round until you get here. And then you decrease. And to decrease, you just do exactly opposite of what you did here. Where you put the increases, you put the decreases. And every row will be the reverse. So when you start to decrease the circle, you will reverse the order. So if your last row had an increase and three single crochets and an increase, when you start to decrease, you will do a decrease, which is 2 single crochets together. Okay, we'll do it that way. And then you will have 3 single crochets and then a decrease. And then the next row after that, you will have the decrease and then 2 single crochets and a decrease. And the next row after that, you'll have a decrease and 1 until you are decreasing all of them. Decrease, decrease, decrease. And that's usually when you have about 6 stitches left at the end of that row, and then you just sew it together, close up the hole. So it's very, very basic. If you know how to do that, you can make any amigurumi on the planet. You can adjust your own. If you want to make a neck where the neck tapers in a little bit, here, this is increases here. You just put a couple increases here and it will jart out this way. Or if you're working it top down, you put a couple decreases here and it will make this hole smaller. And you can make anything. Now, review on the yarn. What is my opinion on the yarn? The yarn and the Woobles crochet hooks are not a good, pleasant match. They don't go real great together. I like it better with the dots hook. Now, I'm sure this is just a fine hook. It reminds me very much of a boy hook. It really does. And they're adorable. But this and that was snagging real bad. I like the yarn. It feels nice. It feels really nice. It's soft, it's squishy. I feel like if you took this yarn and you used a bigger hook, this would give you a really squishy, drapey object, which I'm not mad at that. I mean, it would be cool. I don't like the $12.99 price tag. I like the fun names that they put on the label, like What's Up Buttercup, Chocolate Mousse, and Pebble Without a Cause. And this is earmarked to be either an elephant or a rhinoceros. This is probably going to be bird nests, or I'm not sure what else I'm going to do with that. And then the yellow could be a bumblebee, it could be a sunshine, it could be a sunflower if I mixed it with the brown. I like the yarn, I just don't like the $12.99 price tag. I think $5 is what I paid for it is much more reasonable. I really like it. I like that with a small hook, it's kind of sturdy and it, it feels like it's going to make a nice dense thing so that the fluff doesn't come through. That's my opinion on the Woobles. The yarn is kind of cool. The hooks are real cute when they're designed like that. The kits are neat, and it might be cool for a beginner to learn how to crochet if you're not as offended by the price tag as I am. I think $20 would be a much more reasonable price tag for these. I think I paid $20 for a couple of these kits. I think that's reasonable, but I can't swallow the $40 price tags on some of these, even if they are licensed kits, because I have bought licensed crochet kits from Ollie's, from Walmart for $10, and it has a booklet with 10 patterns in it. And there are so many people online that can teach you how to make amigurumi for free. Just find somebody you connect with. Find somebody who teaches in a way that you understand. Because I know I don't teach the way everybody can understand. Like, some people like me, some people don't like me, and that's okay. I'm the same way. I really relate to certain designers over other designers because they teach the way I learn. But yeah, thanks for listening to me ramble about the Woobles. And I really would like everyone's opinion. The yarn is soft and squishy. It really is. And from the words of Kayla, it doesn't split for her. I don't like it matched with the Woobles hooks, period. But it works really good with the dots hooks. So, use your own judgment. If you like the Woobles, buy them. If you don't, you're offended by the price, don't buy them. But let's discuss. And I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.